What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Let's Play Shovel Knight. Last time we fought the Baz, Mole Knight, and Treasure Knight, leaving us with a few optional bosses still remaining, and 3 more knights from the Order of No Quarter. Today, we are hopefully going to be taking care of Polar Knight and Propeller Knight, who probably have the 2 hardest stages. But real quick, before we do that, gonna head back into Treasure Knight stage for just a little bit of optional treasure. There is really no way that I know of to die in this stage at this point, so pretty much you can just run through and grab a couple of gems that weren't here before. In fact, none of this was here before. But again, there's no risk of death, so might as well just come through and grab what we can. Hitting that point in the game where there really isn't too much left to buy. We have 3 of the 8 bosses left, or 3 of the 8 Knights of the Order of No Quarter. So by this point, we have pretty much everything that we could want that we could buy. Pretty much any money that I get from now on is just going to go towards either upgrading my magic or upgrading or buying a couple of relics that don't really intend to use all that much, but they'll be fun to have around and show off. So this is Polar Knight stage. This is dreaded ice level. I think the ice physics work really well in Shovel Knight, though. They work very similar to, for instance, the most recent example that comes to mind is Mega Man X6, which I just got done playing a few months ago. And some really decent ice physics. So pretty much, you slide around like normal, and just like in X6, the reason I went to that comparison is because you can actually stop your forward momentum while you're sliding around on the ice, and kind of plant yourself by just doing a neutral jump. Which makes it pretty simple to deal with all the sliding around. I think I'm gonna get hit. Yeah, at least I didn't fall in the pit. So let's see. Should be able to show that off up here. Like, just a little neutral jump and you stop sliding around. And what I mean by neutral jump is just to jump straight up in the air. No directional input while you're in the air. And you can pretty much negate all of the slipperiness of the ice. And wait for him to come back and hit him with Charge Shot. I just worried about getting knocked off if I take a hit from one of those two. Yeah, and that charged attack is, I believe, the upgrade, or one of the upgrades we got last episode, or the episode before, I can't remember now. And boom! Oh shit. This always gets my anxiety up, those little pitter-patters of snow. What the fuck am I talking about, pitter-patters of snow? They kind of look like clouds. The idea is that when you make any kind of direct contact with them, they immediately fall to the fucking ground. I'm just gonna take all the hits here, aren't I? They fall to the ground almost instantly, so as long as you actually hit them and land on them, you're in no danger of falling onto the spikes. They also don't have the ice's property of having no friction, so there's no danger of sliding around while in those little puffs of snow. Damn, I took a lot of damage just on that one screen. Shit. I think I had a perfect stage going before that. Now, not so much. Oh, shit. Ah! I really like that Borealis effect in the background. These rainbow vomiting statues, these mobile platforms, are the foundation for some of the scariest moments in the game. Some of the most nerve-wracking sections. Right now it's not too bad, just the little sections that are getting you acclimated to how it works. Basically, the side that you hit vomits a rainbow and propels it in that direction. So I'm hitting it to the left, and while you're standing still on the platform, it weighs it down so it starts sinking. So you want to, if you want to get it to lift up in the air, you want to jump a bunch and generally try to keep off it as much as possible. The other nice thing is, it acts a little bit as a shield, and it also completely plows over enemies, so boom. Not bad. The introductory section of those is not so bad. Those sections get nerve-wracking later on. Don't want to poke around here. I will destroy the floor. Oh hey, Hammer Bros! We're gonna deal with them with anchors. Anchors away. And, oh, I can't throw the anchor up here. That was maybe a little risky. We'll throw it this time, though. So if you notice, well, he's dead now. They're all three are dead. The hammers never hit in between the ladders. Or rather, they always hit in between the ladders. You're always safe on the ladder. That's what I meant to say. So we have another one of these blue chests. Last time we opened these up, an anglerfish popped out. And then at the end, Chester popped out, just like this time. And he sells us a brand new item, the Warhorn, which is kind of like a quarter of a screen clear. It takes up a ton of magic, but it's pretty effective. Oh, shit. Oh, that reminds me, actually. I looked back at some of the recordings and caught something that might be... That was stupid. Wow, what an embarrassing, shitty way to die. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if I haven't shown that off yet... Yeah, there's totally an inventory. I kinda suspected there had to be one. And then someone asked in a comment, oh shit, this is already bad. If there was like a storage or an inventory or somewhere where you could store all of your relics that you pick up. Yeah, there is. I didn't realize that on my first playthrough. It's the select button to switch between relics. I just never bothered hitting the select button, apparently. I'll take care of him before he fucking kills me again. Oh no. God, that's really bad. Okay, we'll wait for the little fox. I love their animations. Like, there's so many frames of animation there. Shit, this is one of the sections that really scares me. Yeah, okay. It's fine. Got it under control. As long as I don't fall to my death in a stupid way before I get to the checkpoint, I think I'll avoid having a stroke on this level. Okay. That one section alone makes me unsure of whether or not that's harder. That makes Polar Knight stage harder than Propeller Knight's. We'll see in a little bit, though. I had a really hard time with Propeller Knight stage my first time through, but now that I know what I'm doing, I think it'll go a little bit smoother. What I was trying to say a while back, before I got distracted, was, when I looked back at the... timing? When I looked back at the, recordings of the previous episodes, I noticed something, and I haven't seen a comment about it yet, so maybe it's not as... Maybe you already know what's going on, but in case you don't... The reason that I'm turning invisible to you when I get hit is because of a combination of the sprite flickering, which indicates that you've been hit, and that's combined with the fact that this is a 30 FPS capture of a 60 FPS game. So I think my capture software is not picking up the alternating frames that the sprite is flickering on. So it appears for you like I'm just turning invisible whenever I get hit like that. But actually, the sprite is flickering. I don't know why that doesn't happen to enemies. I guess they don't flicker quite the same. But visually, to me, it looks like like Shovel Knight and all of the enemies have the same flicker animation. Kind of weird. Wonder why that is, actually. I mean, I guess they don't have the transparency frame. Can't think of any other explanation. Alright, and Polar Knight is kind of like our Dragoon here. Old friends, kind of seeing each other as equals. There's kind of a little bit of a code of honor between the two, but... Huh, the snowballs aren't doing damage. Might have to abandon this. I don't actually know what causes the snowballs to do damage to him. I know sometimes he takes damage from getting hit when you reflect them back. And then other times he just seems to be content to play tennis with you for all eternity. This fight's off to a shitty start. Well, that was bad. I'm having some really, really terrible deaths in Polar Knight stage. Let's try that again. God, that's shitty. I love that his weapon is a snowplow. It's really cool. Yeah, his helmet's even kind of similar. There we go. Now they're doing it. His helmet's even kind of similar. It's got the inverted horns, though. It looks much more like a Viking helmet. And if you didn't catch it, yeah, I guess it must be a Viking helmet. This is, this stage is, what, the lost ship or something like that? Oh. Content to kind of take that damage on this one. You can't... You see he puts the handle of the snowplow up defensively if you stay on his head too long. Not my favorite fight, but short, sweet, to the point. Pretty simple. This arena hazard kind of makes it feel a little bit off. I don't know, there's just something about it that never really clicked with me. It's not the worst fight, but it's not as spectacular as some of the other ones. Anyway, that's it for Polar Knight for now. The stranded ship, there we go. Now, oh, thank you for heading up there, Black Knight. I want to say Black Knight for the push to the Tower of Fate for the finale. That's why I'm kind of trying to work my way around him. Anyway, now we're going to move on to Propeller Knight stage. This is my favorite stage in the game, also probably the hardest one. I'm gonna try not to screw the very first screen up. There we go. Doo-doo. Oh, right, this is the other reason why this is my favorite stage, because the music is fucking great! I feel the most guilty when I play a game that has really good music, or when I LP a game that has really good music, because I'm like, should I just shut up the entire time and do this music justice? But alas, buy the soundtrack. Buy it. That is my goddamn ringing endorsement. Buy the fucking soundtrack, please. Is the soundtrack available for purchase? God, I don't know, actually. I hope so. I would hope. It'd be a crime if it wasn't. Yeah, this is... I'm tempted to say this is the best track in the game. It's at least top 2. Oh, nope. We're not even fighting you. Peace! That guy's not particularly dangerous or anything. It's just no reason to fight him, especially by all the death pits. And bouncy, bouncy, bouncy! I like that that enemy has the little propeller on his back to keep him from falling into the pit. It's kind of cool, little detail. These green enemies are the fucking worst. I hate them. There is a part later on in the level where I think it's during the auto-scroller. There's like 3 of them in a row. I will just wait for them. Getting caught in their... what the hell do I even call it? The crosswind? Getting caught in their airstream is just the fucking most infuriating thing. Oh, it's really not as bad as I'm making it out to be, but shit, gotta stick with it now. Oh no! You can't be quite on the ground when this thing lands and stomps, or you get stunned temporarily. And you'll do a ton of damage to it just by hitting its bombs back at it. Yeah. There we go. So I found out something really cool about the game, something that I had no idea about. And, I just want to say real quick, it's awesome that there's still so much hidden away in this game. Like, there's so much in it. The return of cheat codes in a form that isn't just, you know, microtransactions, because in modern games, that's pretty much what cheat codes became, was microtransaction DLC bullshit. Gone are the fun old days of big head mode. But not in Shovel Knight. Basically, you get to use one code per playthrough, and there are hundreds of them. Just like in the old days, some of them are just for fun, too. Like, there's stuff like butt mode, which I think was the first big one found. And what it does is it basically replaces a bunch of dialogue with butt. The Butt Knight, or Butt. I think that's the name of the GAF OT now, is The Adventures of Butt. There's the first. There's a bunch of other stuff. I think there might be a big head mode one. There's one that makes your sprite 4 times the normal size. There's one that gives you a full screen jump height, pogo anywhere, infinite use of certain relics, overpowered relics. There's just all sorts of fun shit. There's some that make the game harder too, like some that make you take quad damage and stuff like that. The way it works is you have to name your save file with the code, and all the codes are out there now. This dude Sparktail from GameFAQs brute forced them somehow, and there's this giant Google Doc where people are testing each code and kind of filling in the gaps of what all the codes do. There's, like I said, there's a couple hundred. Ah, shit. I'll link to the original GameFAQs post and the Google Docs spreadsheet in the description of the episode, so you can check all that stuff out. Let's try not to fuck this up this time. Very hard for me to do. Oh, we have another one of these guys with the halberd. Again, not gonna fight him because I'm gonna get blown down to the lower screen. So I think what I want to do with this moving fan on the ceiling, I'm gonna wait for it to get to the end closest to me. And God, that's a really cool animation. This... oh no, wait, it's not this screen. This is just getting you used to, the change in wind direction in the stage. The next screen that really puts this mechanic through its paces is the most nerve-wracking part of the stage. So you can tell which direction the wind is blowing based on where the leaves are going. You can also tell the intensity of the wind. So this screen always goes up and then right. So, now up. Okay, this isn't as bad as I remember it being. I still have to not screw this up, so it's gonna go right, and that's it for the screen. Okay. But we still don't have a checkpoint, and I could very easily die in a dumb way right here. Like, oh, that almost happened. The little propeller rat can kind of screw me sometimes, but we got through Propeller Knight stage without too much hassle. Which, kind of surprised, to be honest. My petite blue friend. Gyroscopic Jester. Fucking awesome. Unlike in the later Mega Man X games, I really like the pre-fight dialogue in this. I feel like all the bosses have really good, well-defined personalities, too. Like, there are so many details in this that I expected to not give a shit about, that I wound up really loving. Oh god, that calls in the ship in the background. Yeah, like, I was not expecting to give a shit about the characters, the bosses, the lore of it, the story. All of it is pretty good. And I guess I just had the expectation build up in my head from, like, decades of Mega Man, where I just couldn't give a fuck less about the story, because there's so little there. Oh shit, I'm caught in the middle platform. I do really poorly with this fight when I'm stuck out here. Oh no. This is going so downhill. But Shovel Knight, I might die. Oh no. If you haven't been able to tell, I'm really, really terrible at timing those attacks. I would definitely say Propeller Knight's stage is probably the second hardest, come to think of it. Polar Knight's probably a little tiny bit harder. Propeller Knight, though, is easily the hardest boss in the game. I'm including... Do I want to include the final boss in that? The final boss has one aspect of her stage that's a little bit more dangerous, but we'll get to that in due time. So while the ship is throwing bombs and cannonballs and shit at us, we at least get a couple of heavy anchors off. I'll be good. Man, my thoughts are all over the place right now. Right, I have to focus on timing his attacks when he gets back down on the ground. That's probably the aspect of this fight that I have the hardest time with. I can never quite get the timing straight. Okay. That doesn't seem so bad now. What happens there is if you land on his daggers, his rapier, he just impales you for a lot of damage. That's it, though. Holy shit. I still lost a ton of health on the second try. Fairly tough fight, or at least tough for me. And with Propeller Knight down, that leaves us with only one more Knight from the Order of No Quarter. Also, if you notice, we're at 9 health, so that also means that that last boss, at the end of that last boss's stage, we are going to be picking up the final meal ticket. But until then, that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Next up, the finale of Let's Play Shovel Knight. Take it easy, everyone. Have a good one.